Okay, we're out here at the Salton Sea. This is the Highway 111. And we're in the process of shooting a time lapse at Bombay Beach. The main focus of the time lapse is going to be down by the water in a little bit here, but we want to get a few frames of the entrance at first. You can hear that camera's clicking away. Got a device called the intervalometer, which basically will take a frame, take a shot every X number of seconds or minutes or hours, depending on how you set it up. We're taking shots, and pretty soon here we're going to head actually down by the water, and this is where, down there is where it looks really apocalyptic and all that. It's like something you'd never seen before. And we'll be able to capture the sun setting in about an hour. Okay, now we're out at the waterfront section of Bombay Beach, and this area in the 1950s and 1960s, developers and investors had a vision of turning this into Southern California's version of the Riviera. It was supposed to be a nice, luxurious, happening resort town. As you can see, that dream never really materialized. What was once really nice, pristine lakefront property, over the years the water quality went downhill, dead fish started washing up on shore, and the salinity of the water, the salt content, increased to a very high and unnatural level, which caused massive fish die-offs. There was also sometime in the 80s a couple of floods. You can see here, flooded out this area. These were all really once, if you can believe it, once really nice waterfront properties. See, there's this huge lake just out here in the middle of the desert. After those floods and the fish die-offs, the stench of the water at the time, people just kind of gave up on this area. There were lots of people that investors, real estate agents had sold them on the idea of, buy some land here, it's waterfront property, and this area is going to be a happening place, and you'll be able to buy it now for a few grand and sell it for tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even more in the future, because everybody's going to want waterfront property here in the desert. Unfortunately, that dream never happened, as you can see. And this is some of the cheapest real estate in Southern California. Now, in all fairness, I will say that the lake actually does not smell as bad as it's made out to be, and the fish die-offs have decreased in recent years. And according to the Department of Health or whatnot, the water is actually as safe enough to swim in as the Pacific Ocean is, as the beaches are in San Diego. San Diego gets its fair share of sewage spills and all that on the beach. When you come here, the water sometimes smells like a rotten egg odor. Although it smells like sewage, it's not really sewage. It's decaying algae, which gives off a sulfur smell. So people think that, the sewage from the Tijuana River and all that empties into this lake, and that's what makes it all nasty. That's not true. It's mostly the decaying algae. Like I said, aesthetically speaking, I wouldn't swim in it, but health-wise, it is safe to swim in the water. These buildings, like I said, have been decayed since the 80s. This whole area flooded, and the town put up a dam or a dike here, or levee, whatever you want to call it, to protect the remaining areas. And these buildings were once thin, they've just worn out over the years. Over here is a decaying Airstream trailer. It doesn't have the signature shiny metal siding on it anymore. Scrappers stole that a few years ago. It's been heavily decaying ever since. But still, considering all the siding's gone, it's still holding up pretty well. But yeah, anything out here with any type of steel or aluminum or copper is quickly stolen by scrappers. See the remains of a stove here, remains of refrigerator, icebox. So you got the nice framework here. fake tile on the kitchen walls. Oh, see now there's some of the metal that the scrappers still haven't taken. But yeah, so this if you'd seen this probably like 10 years ago, you'd more easily recognize it as an Airstream. Got a shadow in here. A bunch of other sunken trillers and water tanks. Like I say, if you can just imagine, this was once a nice area. Again, you got this nice lake, huge lake that's gigantic lake out here in the middle of the desert. People went swimming in here, water skiing, whatnot. There were the little marina up here, remains of the marina and piers, power lines. Today, this is what it's become. Definitely not the luxurious place to hang out, but it's still, like I said, right now the water doesn't really stink. I mean, that's kind of overblown by the media. Yeah, there's birds that hang out here. I mean, I find it kind of peaceful out here. I mean, it's apocalyptic, but I find it interesting. And just because it is apocalyptic, so I got getting over a cold here, so my throat's really sore. The locals are actually nice people. Some people ask me if I'm afraid to go out here, or if I've ever gotten robbed or anything like that. No, the locals are just nice people. I mean, they're mostly poor people out here these days, but they're not gangbangers, and I mean, I've never felt fear or safety out here. Look at this lake in the middle of the desert, just goes on for miles and miles. Pretty much abandoned. This was once a thriving marina. Okay, the sun is already set, obviously. It's now twilight here at Bombay Beach.
Dude, my shutter speed went from 400 to 250.
Yeah, wow.
And now it's at 320.
Yeah. Really nice colors out here this time. Got some photographers out there shooting a model. Dressed up as a bride. Oh, I'm just narrating the video. Anyway, I'm talking to myself.